1921, Reading, PA. The last 17 children of John and Effie Nagle, and he weighed in at 17 pounds, which was a record. It stood for a long time. And soon after he was born, he became known as Chappie, and he was Chappie ever since. Joined the Army in July 1940 with a buddy to take advantage of a deal whereas they could be stationed in Hawaii. He was a Pearl Harbor survivor, and in 1943 was accepted for fighter pilot school located in the States. But as soon as he got here, the school closed down and they shipped him off to Europe just in time for the Battle of Bulge. He had met my future uncle, Mike Schaefer, in Hawaii, and began a pen pal correspondence with Mike's sister, Trudy, who later became, wrong way to put it, he would marry in November 1944. He was discharged in August 1945. He bought a piece of land outside of Reading, and he and Trudy built a home there, and I mean, they built it. They lived in a converted chicken coop while they were building it, with no electricity and no running water. He and my mother were married for 63 years. Myself, David, and Joel are the sons. Tracy and Mary are the daughters-in-law. And Alicia, Monica, Josh, Carly, and Kyle are the grandchildren, with Vanessa, Jack, and Brennan, the great-grandchildren. The last of his family of 17 brothers and sisters. He was employed as a mechanic for Carl Lieberneck & Son, a manufacturer of knitting machines. He invented the first machine capable of a fully automatic rug manufacture. He worked in heavy industry all his life. He worked at Beloit Eastern, made paper-making machinery, and became a field engineer for them, traveling around the world setting up the giant paper-making machinery. Sweden, Vietnam, and Mexico, a few places that he visited and worked while he was working for them. Finally, he worked for National Rolling Mills as a millwright mechanic for 23 years till he retired in 1996 at age 75. He still worked a double once in a while. He was an exceptional athlete in his younger years, participated in all the industrial leagues for the companies he worked for, pitching for the softball team, bowler, and a golfer. And he often had the high average for bowling and the low score for golfing. He was a smooth dancer and enjoyed big band music. And I managed to sail his records out in the snow for frisbees one year when I was young. He didn't appreciate that too much. He liked TV, and he really liked Red Skelton and Jackie Gleason shows and westerns. Gunsmoke and Bananas were favorites, and he loved John Wayne movies. Brothers and I often watched the Phillies with him on Sunday afternoons. He had a big appreciation for Richie Ashburn and all real hustlers on the field, which he really was what he was all about, hustle and doing the job right. This is not to say he did not have his faults. Anyone here who knew him or worked with him for any period of time can attest to his fiery temper. As my brother recalls, he often retrieved a certain 5/8 wrench numerous times out of the creek where my pop deposited while repairing his car. My brother David and I remember dodging items which flew out of the trunk Pop had just packed for vacation, as he was presented with a few more things to pack by person or persons unknown. We went to the shore every summer, oft times for a month, and all were welcome, relatives, friends, later the grandkids. We have fond memories of these times, card games, camaraderie, the arguments and disagreements that go with family. Certainly miss those times. Pop just liked to relax on the beach, sitting on his beach chair, listening to the surf, turning brown as a chestnut. He also liked to fool with the seagulls. He'd eat peanuts out of shell and throw the shells to the seagulls. Laugh like heck when they gave up on it. But later he'd go out with some breadcrumbs and feed them. I got to work with Pop for 12 years. He got me the job after I straightened myself out. And in that time I came to know him far more than I ever had before. At work, he suffered no fools. And I can recall his questioning of the mental abilities of foremen, supervisors, and executives at the mill. How goddamn dumb are you was his favorite refrain, which I remember hearing many times. Along with many other expletive-laden inquiries. Despite this, many times he was offered and refused promotion for the no part of what he called, and I'm not going to quote him on that. I would have to say that, from what I witnessed, that he was admired by all for his skill, knowledge, and for his humanity. He gave advice only when asked, and if he could help a fellow out financially, he would. He never spoke of his generosity or good deeds, preferring to be perceived as the gruff, combative curmudgeon of the millwrights. His co-workers called him the Bulldog. We had a picnic on his 70th birthday, and a good time was had by all. We had many picnics and holidays celebrated. The 70th birthday were like 100 people at his birthday party. After he retired, we began to notice Pop was becoming very forgetful and was increasingly inactive. We found out he was suffering from dementia, and he slowly slipped away from us. He entered the hospice at the Veterans Hospital, where he was exceptionally cared for by all the nursing staff there. I'm truly grateful for that. And of course, he became a star at the hospice. Everybody seemed to love him. And he also came up with his new catchphrase, whoopee, which he said for everything that was going on. And all who came in contact with him seemed to love and admire him. There was no quit, Pop, and only a fall and a broken hip led to his passing. All his sons were by his side. I just wish I had listened more to his silent way of teaching lessons of life. He was all man in the best sense of the word, and he was my Pop. Anyone who wants to share a memory or a story about Chappie, please feel free to come up here and share. Thank you.